There's something going on here in life which is beyond just a job or a career. There's another side of the coin. I can't explain it in words, but it's the same thing which has caused people in the past to be poets or artists instead of bankers or engineers. And I think that in this new brainwashed world, most people have lost that spirit. Please do not look at this video from an average person's point of view who might think by watching the thumbnail or by looking at the title that I'm going to talk about the downsides or the negative aspects of not having a job and how it feels like to not have a job in our current society. But instead, how not having a job is not a failure but means freedom, and how it can help you and the society at the same time. And that's the other side of the coin, the brighter side, the more poetic and more intellectual side of not having a job, and how it feels like, and how it can be something which you can connect to. First of all, let me state the facts. A job is completely a man-made thing. 8-hour work shifts, the boss culture, the corporate ladder, the fixed wages, etc. This system was actually developed during the industrial age and was meant to end there when refugees used to work at factories and mines and had this job. But I don't understand how this has become so normalized in today's world. In historical times, before the industrial age and before the term job, people pursued whatever they were good at or whatever they loved and made a living out of it. People were painters, poets, writers, scientists, farmers, horse riders, and now everyone runs after the same things. And so today, if we look around at small business owners like a tea stall vendor or a newspaper vendor, then oftentimes I've seen that these people who are supposedly at lucrative jobs look at these kind of people like they don't even exist. If we were living in different times, then these same people who you are ignoring might have been, inventors or literature marvels. But trust me, even in those times, you'd still be a labor. Well, anyways, there's a famous saying among rich people which goes like कि लोग 10,000 कमाने में इतना busy हैं कि उनके पास 10 लाख कमाने का time नहीं है. Now, you can put whatever number you earn right now versus what you could have earned, and the meaning would still stay the same. The only difference is, do you have the courage and the freedom to think big and bold? And I'm not just talking about the money. On the regular job side of the coin, you can't truly innovate or push the human race forward while doing it honestly. You have got to have the courage to think and work outside of this self-created busy world. And jobs do not incentivize excellence or innovation, rather they reward mediocrity and routine. Now, how I personally deal with it is also a very interesting way to think about it. Having no job or stable income is something which instead motivates me to do bigger things in life. Personally, what I feel is that without a job, I'm much better off. I feel so honestly out of the daily routine and hustle which everyone, I don't know why, have to follow. I can think of and pursue anything I want in my life at any point and still earn 10 times more than the average person while doing it, and all without having any expectations from any other person or without having any limitations at all whatsoever. I don't know, somehow demanding more is seen as a bad thing. Being exceptional is seen as a bad thing. I think most people are stuck in their daily life challenges and daily hurdles and obstacles and daily routine. But if you ever get the chance to step out of this and see what people are capable of and how giant the achievements of some people and personalities can be, then I think you'll realize how much is still left to achieve for you. Usually the expectation is to have a very fixed and limited life. Like first it's school 9 to 5, then it's college 9 to 5, then it's job 9 to 5. Tell me exactly at which point in your life were you completely free? Let's say for 3 months. Like literally you had no obligation at all, nowhere to go, nothing to do. I guarantee you, that period in your life should have been or must have been the most creative and intellectual period of your life. As Jeff Bezos says, real invention requires wandering, and you have to give yourself permission to wander. Because I think when we step back from our daily grind, we create a space for some profound questions like, who am I if I am stripped of my titles and responsibilities? Or what is the nature of my true self outside of the labels of the society? And I think life at its very core is a quest for meaning. And I think the confinements of a job rarely scratches the surface of our true potential or the true purpose. See, I also understand that not everyone finds themselves in a situation to take risk, and I think it's fine for them to go for the safe option. But if you can do it and you are just not doing it because of what people might think or society might think, then I think you're wasting your time. And I think you should go for it, give it a try, and then decide for yourself. You can always go back to a job. And I'm not asking you for any bullshit like escape the rat race or something like that, because that in itself does not make any sense. Because honestly, what I think about rat race is that even if you escape rat race, you are still a rat and nothing more. So that does not make sense in itself. And to be truly human, you need to think sovereign. You have to think and operate in a different dimension altogether, where things like escaping the so-called rat race or daily cycle or societal expectations does not exist. And for that, you need to have a serious dialogue with your inner self. I think a conversation which often challenges the conventional wisdom. And I think that's the true essence of the other side of the coin which we are talking about, which is to live a life led by your inner self, your intuition, your guts, that lunacy that pops out of you once in a while, which allows yourself the space to be truly and unapologetically human. And finally, for the few of you, the people who want more from life, the people who know they deserve more, and the people who want to live on the other side of the coin, which is the more poetic, the more artistic, the more free, the more rich, intellectual and spiritual side, I would like to end this with a very moving expert from late Steve Jobs era, which goes like, here's to the crazy ones,
the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.